What if your entire life was a lie? Imagine waking up every day in a world where every smile, every handshake, every conversation is rehearsed. Welcome back to Behind the Film Industry, the channel where we dissect cinema not just as entertainment, but as art, philosophy, and cultural commentary. Today's deep dive is into one of the most thought-provoking films of the 90s, The Truman Show. Directed by Peter Weir and starring Jim Carrey in one of his most profound roles, this film doesn't just entertain, it challenges our understanding of reality, freedom, and identity. So, if you're into breakdowns that go beneath the surface, hit subscribe and let's unravel the illusion. Released in 1998, The Truman Show arrived at a time when the concept of reality television was still emerging. Directed by Peter Weir and written by Andrew Niccol, the film stars Jim Carrey as Truman Burbank, a man whose entire life has been broadcast to the world without his knowledge. What sets this film apart is how eerily predictive it was. It foreshadowed the rise of social media, influencer culture, and even the omnipresence of surveillance in everyday life. Think about it. A man born into a fabricated reality, manipulated by unseen forces, and fed a false narrative, all under the guise of entertainment. Sound familiar? That's because, in many ways, The Truman Show is no longer science fiction. It's our reality. The film blends genres, drama, sci-fi, satire, and serves as a mirror to society's obsession with voyeurism and the spectacle. Peter Weir crafts a world that feels eerily perfect, but that perfection hides something deeply disturbing. It questions not only Truman's life, but the morality of the viewers watching it. Are they complicit in his captivity? And are we complicit in the digital performances we consume every day? At first glance, Truman Burbank seems like an ordinary man. He lives in Sea Haven, a picturesque suburban town where everyone is friendly, the sun always shines, and life seems too perfect. Every day, Truman greets his neighbors, heads to work, and follows a routine that seems comforting. But gradually, he begins to sense something is off. A studio light falls from the sky. A radio frequency reveals crew communications. Familiar strangers pass by at the exact same moment every day. These subtle disturbances become impossible to ignore. Truman's awakening is slow, deliberate, and deeply human. He doesn't immediately rebel. Instead, he questions, hesitates, wrestles with denial. It's a powerful depiction of how we all react when the narratives we've believed our whole lives begin to crumble. His suspicion builds as he starts to notice that people around him, his best friend, his wife, even his mother, seem to be hiding something. They gaslight him, manipulating his perception of reality. This segment of the film beautifully captures paranoia and doubt. It's not just about whether the world is fake, it's about what it feels like to have your perception betray you. It taps into something primal, the fear that the world around you isn't real, and worse, that everyone else knows something you don't. The Truman Show is rich in symbolism. Let's start with the town of Sea Haven itself. It's a manufactured utopia, controlled and curated to maintain the illusion of safety and happiness. But that safety comes at a cost. Freedom. The town represents the societal structures we all live within. Schools, jobs, family roles. Each plays a part in shaping us, and each can become a form of invisible control. Christof, the show's creator, is the ultimate manipulator. He sees himself as a benevolent god, claiming he's protecting Truman from the harshness of the real world. But in reality, he's stripping Truman of agency. this raises ethical questions. Is it ever right to decide what's best for someone else? Christof's name even evokes religious overtones, Christ and of, implying a God complex. Product placement in the film is deliberately jarring. Truman's wife randomly pitches products mid-scene, breaking the flow of natural conversation. This isn't just for satire. It's a critique of how capitalism seeps into our relationships, how advertising infiltrates even the most intimate moments. We're reminded that even in a world built around one man's life, profit still drives the show. Truman's name is no accident. True man. He is authenticity personified. In a world of actors, he is the only one who feels. This theme echoes across the film. Truth versus illusion. Autonomy versus control. Self versus society. Every glance, every choice Truman makes is loaded with these tensions. Jim Carrey delivers a career-defining performance, known at the time for roles in comedies like The Mask and Ace Ventura: Car. Jim Carrey delivers a career-defining performance. Known at the time for roles in comedies like The Mask and Ace Ventura, Carrey brings unexpected emotional depth here. His portrayal of Truman's gradual unraveling, his confusion, curiosity, and courage, is nuanced and moving. You see the pain in his eyes, the growing fire behind the smile. The cinematography supports this transformation. The film uses hidden camera perspectives, fisheye lenses, odd angles, to mimic surveillance footage. It gives viewers the unsettling sensation that we too are spying on Truman. These angles aren't just aesthetic. They serve a thematic purpose. We're made complicit in his entrapment. The lighting is bright, almost sterile. It mirrors the artificial perfection of Sea Haven. But as Truman begins to question his reality, the lighting shifts. Shadows become longer, contrasts deepen, suggesting the depth of what he's beginning to see. Even the soundtrack contributes to the unease. Subtle, minimalist piano themes underscore Truman's introspective moments, while dissonant tones spike during moments of revelation. It's a masterclass in how music, visuals, and acting can work together to express a character's internal journey. Few films pose as many philosophical questions as The Truman Show. It forces us to ask, what defines reality? Is comfort more valuable than truth? And what does freedom really mean? Truman is offered a life free of pain, but also free of choice. He lives in a gilded cage. The moment he seeks truth, he becomes dangerous, not just to Christof, but to the entire system built around him. The film draws clear parallels to Plato's allegory of the cave, where prisoners see only shadows and believe them to be real until one breaks free and sees the world for what it is. Like that allegory, Truman's journey is one from illusion to enlightenment, from comfort to chaos. And like Plato's freed prisoner, Truman must choose whether to return to safety or face the unknown. On a cultural level, The Truman Show predicted the rise of surveillance capitalism and performative identity. Today, we willingly broadcast our lives online. We curate Instagram profiles, post YouTube vlogs, and allow algorithms to shape our behavior. In a way, we've all become Truman and the audience at the same time. The film also critiques the viewers inside the movie, who cheer for Truman, yet never question their own complicity. This is a powerful reflection on modern media. Are we truly empathetic, or are we just entertained by suffering as long as it's framed well? Spoiler alert, the climax of the film is both literal and symbolic. Truman sails into a storm, a final test designed by Christof to break his spirit. When he hits the wall, It's not just a physical boundary, it's the edge of his perceived world. That moment, when he touches the sky and finds it's a set wall, is one of the most iconic metaphors in modern cinema. His decision to leave, despite Christof pleading with him to stay, is powerful. It's a rejection of false safety, a refusal to be a pawn. Truman's bow and exit line, "In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night," becomes a declaration of self-liberation. It's a line loaded with irony and triumph, a farewell to the life he never chose. The final shot of the open door represents infinite possibility and risk. It's a visual echo of the hero's journey, leaving the known world to discover the unknown. It dares us to question our own lives. How much of what we do is genuine? How many of our choices are truly ours? The Truman Show is not just a film, it's a philosophical experience. It blends stunning visuals, powerful performances, and profound ideas to deliver a timeless story. It forces us to confront our own blind spots and the systems we live in. I give it a full 10 out of 10 for being bold, visionary, and emotionally resonant. It's the kind of movie you can revisit every few years and still discover something new. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this breakdown, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments. Would you step out of Sea Haven or stay in the comfort of the dome? Until next time, keep your eyes open. The world might be watching.